Okay, meeting's called to order.
7:08.
I think the second item is approved the minutes for the last meeting.
Yes,
Rob, I have just maybe one typo under item 4.
Hold on. Editing. Item 4. Keep talking slowly.
Yep, the second to last line. Right after warrant article. Should that be since it was, as opposed to since is?
Okay, I found the document. I was using the old one, I mean the new one. I have to get the old one. Okay, item 4. The recommends proposal DPW tree barn demolished, 2 other buildings instead shall preserve. Well, how far down is it?
The second to last line.
Well, second to last.
Yep.
Whether 17 Upton Street was
Yes,
explicitly included in the wording of the warrant article.
since it was. As opposed to since is.
Oh, okay, it was. No, I gotcha.
Yep, that's all.
It's like missing 4 characters. Okay. Okay.
I saw one other thing too, Rob,
Yeah.
under, I don't have an agenda in front of me either, but it talks about Windle property
Yeah.
and it says something about section 106.
Yeah, that was my question also.
I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
what that refers to.
I was typing down what David was saying. So what did you say, David?
Well, because I'm assuming because it needs an Army permit or some other federal permit, they have to do it. Section 106 is the historical review.
Okay, so instead of is going to, no, in back of it, and may require a, what's the right wording there? Or leave it out, or,
They just leave it out.
okay. So it just will say, National Grid is going to replace a structure in back of it.
Yeah, we received notification that they were.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Nope.
That's all I saw.
Take a motion to approve, to accept.
Motion to approve the minutes of what, March 29th
As amended.
as amended by
Second.
Rob.
Motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
We need to do a roll in this.
Roll call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, who seconded is my question.
That was Bruce.
Bruce, okay, thanks, gotcha.
All in favor?
Texera, aye.
Stevens, aye.
Aber guy.
Clark,
Yeah.
aye.
Bagney, aye.
Henry and I.
Clerk carried.
I think the next item is paying bills if we have any. And we don't.
Yep. Number 4 is discussion RFP. For
Dave, if I could-
17, oh, sorry, excuse me.
Yep, sorry, Dave, if I could suggest, since there are a few people on for 25 Worcester Street, maybe take them out of sequence and do that one first so that the guests don't have to listen through the first discussion.
Okay, I've got 3. Chet's on, Steve's on, and Matthew Austin is on. What do I do? Unmute them?
What do you want him to do? Do you want him to
Wait,
talk?
wait,
Well, what are we doing 25 or 17 and 27?
So you guys do what you need to do. I'm just here to watch the meeting. I thought this would be a seminar, but it looks like I've joined the meeting, so just carry on. Don't worry about me.
Who was that?
That was Matt.
Matt,
Okay. Rob, on the agenda, are we doing 17 and 25 Upton Street or 25 Worcester
Well,
Street?
there's
There's
17 and
two.
27 Upton Street is the first one. The 40B for 25 Worcester Street, is the second one.
Okay, let's do the first one.
First one first, 17 and 27 Upton Street, RFP.
I talked to the town planner today, or, yeah, yesterday, I guess it was. And they put the RFP on hold. They have a town meeting article to put 17 as one of the properties to be disposed of. So 17 wasn't included in the original warrant article. So they're now doing a new article, and they're gonna hold the RFP. They don't expect to rebid it, so what you saw is what you got.
But this has to go to town meeting. Is that what you first, is that the bottom line?
It's a warrant article for the next town meeting, as I understand it.
And that's coming up pretty soon.
June 5th, I believe. And we did, but we had a letter that we sent with our comments so that we got our input on that.
Did somebody send the letter? I didn't.
I sent it to you.
All right, and minutes have it.
Maybe I sent it. I have to check. In either case, in any case, there's nothing's going to happen on it until they go back to town meeting.
So they're gonna redo it from scratch and
They're
just,
going to they're going to keep the RFP that they've received.
right, but apply it to a new warrant article instead of the old warrant article.
Well, I don't know if they're going to do a whole new article, or if they're going to just do 17.
Okay, well, because the RFP sort of, didn't it encompass 17 and 27 was what was in the RFP?
That's correct, and I questioned how they did that, because the warrant article didn't include 17.
Yeah, okay, so basically this is a catch up. It sounds
Yeah,
like,
it's another
and
screw-up.
there's no new information anywhere. Other than that 17 is now, voted included.
Well, that's assuming town meeting votes to transfer it.
Okay,
Rob, we just need to validate that our feedback and statement was sent in, or if not, we need to send it in.
Hey, Rob, send me a reminder.
okay.
Why don't you just send the email, Rob, as the clerk?
You want me to send the email? I
Sure.
can-
Well, I won't get it till I get off of here, so
And does it go to the selectmen or the planning department? The planning department, I guess, sent out the email.
yeah, asking for comments and.
Comments.
Oh, yeah, I did send comments back to them saying that
I thought you did,
that's the one where I questioned whether or not 17 had been.
Yeah. right, because we worked on that wording for like 15 minutes and then
Mhm.
I mailed it to you. All you had to do is forward it, basically.
How do you get the
So you're done, right?
So,
We know how much weight we carry, so we know whatever we said is gonna happen.
any other questions on that?
Nope.
Okay, we'll move on to 25 Worcester Street. I got an email and then a call from the town planner asking me why I said it was a 40B project. And I said, because that's what the cover sheet of your plans say. He said, no. And so I thought, I'll send you a copy. He got back to me, yeah, you're right.
Rob? Rob, it's Bruce. I'm going to recuse myself from this discussion. I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe if you could send me a text message when we reconvene.
Bruce is in the butter.
Okay,
He doesn't have to like, he just can't talk, or he has to let us know that he's in a butter. He doesn't have to run, go sit somewhere else. That's,
He was more comfortable not.
okay.
I talked to him about that, and he just felt he was more comfortable. I think we've got 2 other people or 3 other people that are muted. Why don't I unmute them if I can?
They may have muted themselves.
Oh, okay. So if they want to
Can you-
talk, they gotta unmute, but I think it was this morning, I got 4 more copies of proposals for 25 Worcester Street. None of them, personally, I don't see how they can do any of what they're proposing without doing a 40B or going for a zoning change, but that's somebody else's call, not mine.
So could explain it, since I guess I haven't seen all those plans. Why do you think they can't happen? It's too dense of a project?
Well, I believe it's single family zoning in there,
Oh, okay.
and they voted to transfer it, but they didn't vote to do a zoning change. If they did a 40B, then they would skirt the zoning, it wouldn't be an issue. But I question whether or not 40B was a senior housing, because that's what the Warren article, they transferred it for the purpose of senior housing. And I really have got a good answer back, but I don't know if anybody else has been following it. I put it on the agenda just because I had circulated the earlier draft that they had.
I think I've only seen one of the proposals, so I
Yeah.
don't know much about it. But I know there's supposed to be multiple proposals.
There's-
And I
there's
don't know
one-
that any of them are definitive, that these maybe are just the beginning.
I think
option.
what they're doing is, they're fishing to see which gets the least adverse
Pushback.
comments. If you want, when we get off, I'll forward Chris's email that has the 4 sketches. I'll forward them to the committee.
That would be great. I would like to see those as well.
So, as I understand it, there's been nothing formally filed. Waters Engineering out of Westboro is the one doing the conceptuals, and it's not clear if the affordable housing is going to, because they're calling for apartments and townhouses, and it's not clear who's going to own them. So, and there's apparently all they're doing is floating concepts of what they would look like. They kind of use the conceptual from like the state hospital, but I'm not sure what they're proposing.
I think Bruce Spinney is the chairman of Affordable Housing Trust.
He is.
And I could email him and ask him to speak to us at our next meeting, if you think that would be helpful.
Well, I guess since there's nothing formally filed, I'm not sure whether or not, I initially put this on because I got a request from Ron Warwick, who lives across the street, concerned about the initial proposal had something like 60 or 80 units or something. And they sent me an old letter that was then when the fire station was there from Mass Historic, but I'm not even sure we have any jurisdiction or any other than being a town board, I'm not sure whether or not we even are required to comment or could comment.
Well, that's what our job is. Our role is to be an advocate that we are an advisory committee to the selectmen. And so that we would say, given the proximity of this development to the common, that we think, just like we said with the big apartment or whatever it's going to be, where the old fire station, or sorry, the old DPW is, that it's just what we think based on our role as, we're the protectors of, Grafton's history. And
But at this point,
architect-
John, all it is an open field.
right, but if they're making proposals, that this is our opportunity to say, this is what we'd like to see, or we feel like this is not appropriate because, and that we're a sounding board for, like you said, the gentleman from across the street. If the neighbors, this is one way for them to give input, and because our job is to advocate for Grafton's history, that we would say, okay, we would really like to see this reflect the character of the neighborhood, the character of the approach to the common, to try to make, because I've always said, I would love to see a new building that looked like the old high school. And you could put a lot of units in that, you could add on to it from that. So that way, I would hope, I never saw the building, but it would still give you the feel of the high school building that was there. So people couldn't really complain that, well, it's this big building. It's like, but it's just like the building that was there. So it's meeting the needs of, if it's seniors or affordable housing. And just like any building, it can have an addition to add, because I don't know how big that building was. So that's but that's my personal preference. I would love to see it try to not necessarily replicate, but pay homage to the old high school building.
John, I've been watching all those meetings and I've seen the proposals. I think there's either 3 or 4 so far. And, they're all over the place for the proposals. I think we need to see where they end up, what they're finally looking at
Mhm.
before we decide to do much of anything.
So you've
it
been
may-
watching the Affordable Housing Trust meetings? That's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see, at this point, there's really nothing formally filed, so there's nothing to comment on. That's why I said it, to me, it looked like a fishing expedition where they're just looking to see what has the least amount of opposition.
Well, that's, to me, that's, we can choose to take a role to lead rather than follow, to say, this is what we'd like to see. We'd like to see the density of the neighborhood retained, or we'd like to see X, whatever it is that we'd like to see, if we'd like to see anything, or if it matters to us. And that's, what I said is, I'd like to see a building that looked like the building that used to be there. And I think that, that architects, when they're doing all their planning, you don't want to tell them after they've done everything. You want to tell them at the beginning stage now to say, okay, is that a feasible thing? What can you do with that? How can you play with that to help this building fit into the neighborhood? There used to be a school, this is what it looked like. What can you do to help us with that? Or,
So John, could I put a picture of that building up so we could talk about what we're
Sure.
talking about?
yeah,
Okay, sharing,
John,
Oh,
I went to that
post
school.
disabled.
I went through it also.
Yeah, Dave, would you like to enable multiple simultaneous sharing or whatever the option is, so I can
Yeah,
share?
happy to do it.
Down below on where it says share screen, you have a pop-up, and let it pop up from share screen and choose allow multiple simultaneous or whatever it is.
I'm gonna do what?
Under your share screen, there's a pop-up that says allow multiple simultaneous sharing or something like that.
It says share sound.
No?
mine
Post-
says share content. Here's my say share
Yeah.
content.
No,
and
share
there's an
screen.
arrow.
Yeah, yeah, but you press it and you get an error message that says host disabled participant screen sharing. Anyway, so it looks like I can't
It doesn't
share.
appear to be on mine.
Well, you're the host, so, okay. Well, usually this works most weeks. This week, it's
Let me see what,
something's different this week.
it probably deoperated.
No, but normally you click it. So I'm wondering if this isn't because we're the Grafton Board of Health this week.
I wasn't gonna say anything, Rob.
Well, we got bumped off the selectmen,
Oh, okay.
and the planning one had the wrong emails, so we got bumped off them the time before.
You don't see it?
Yeah, I got, well, under screen. is it-
Yeah, under share screen or screen sharing, you should have a few options.
Click that one, but I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, no.
What if I could put
There you
it-
go. You did it.
Oh,
Is that it?
oh. You're sharing, yeah, but now you're sharing your screen.
How do we get out of this?
At the top, you hit view options and stop sharing.
Oh, right. Oh, your share screen, okay.
Yeah, it worked last time. Something's different this month.
I'm not even sure how to get out of this.
It's at the top center of your screen. There is that thing that drops down when you hover up close to the top center.
Yeah,
And then there's exit screen sharing.
there's a new screen share, there's a video, security, participants. Pause share. Uh, If I click on this one, I'm probably gonna lose everybody.
Goodbye.
Let me try this one.
Oh, you're already in the meeting. You know, that's not going to help. We can see that screen.
Yeah, but how do I get out of this screen?
Hey, hover up your mouse to the top center, all the way up to the top in the center.
Yeah,
Like touch the top. Your mouse isn't quite there yet. And a thing should drop down and give you some options like stop screen sharing or end screen sharing.
oh, stop share.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
Okay,
Want to do that again?
no. We got 3 people, let's see who wants to,
We should post this on our meeting agendas that this is a how-to for Zoom for people that want to learn.
Okay. I just added the Norcross Annex picture to the chat. How about that instead of screen sharing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, that's the building. And your sister posted it, Dave, so I'm pretty sure she knows
Ah.
what you're talking about.
Okay.
I know we have a better one at the museum.
How would she know?
I'm not seeing anything in the chat though, Rob.
It says from me to everyone. It's at the top. It should be a little, it's not a picture. It's a file upload thing. So you click on it and it should open up the picture.
I see it. I just opened it.
Here.
You have to click on the chat.
What a gorgeous building.
We had red paint and asbestos and.
It tasted good.
Yeah,
good- The good stuff. Huh?
You guys were lucky.
I think the bug that's on Dave's is on mine because there's nothing on
I
my
can't-
chat.
I can't see it either.
I can't
I'm on
see.
an iPad. That could be that.
I know what it looks like, so I don't care.
Me too.
Well,
In fact,
anyway,
if
I
you wanna
tried.
see some of the bricks from it, go down to the condos on the corner of Meadowbrook and 140.
That's not it. Yeah, well, so we have to pick a period of history that we want to talk about anyway, because I think the center was shoe factories. And I don't think we want it to look like a shoe factory.
Well, you know, John, I see where you're coming from, but I don't think we're the board that, at this point, that really gonna put it. If you as an individual want to do it, but I don't see how we as a board have the authority to go in and tell another board what they should design.
We're not telling them, we're saying this is what we think. This
So,
is
well,
what we
provide- I think you're-
prefer.
John, you're saying provide input, I think you said last time.
Right, right. We're not saying you have to do this because we have no power to do that for anything.
Right.
But
Right,
we
but
can
who-
say, this is what we would like.
Well,
And
I
they
don't
can say, thank you very much, and throw it away.
That if you want to do it an individual or put together something for us to review, but I think you're on thin ice when you start going out and start talking about, I mean, any of the farms around here that have been converted to housing development, you got the same argument. So,
And those same people, we could say, we'd love to see your main building to look like a farmhouse or look like a barn. And they could say, thank you very much. And it goes right in the trash.
right.
But we have the moral authority to say, we've studied the history of Grafton, we've researched, we've paid for consultants to do research for us. And we feel like that this is an important part of our community. It's the gateway into the common. It's one of the two major ways into town. And we'd like to preserve the sense and feel of that neighborhood. And, this is our take on what that is. And the selectmen can say, this is our take. And the planning board can say, this is our take. And the neighbors can say, this is our take. And then Affordable Housing Trust looks at all of that and they say, yes, no, or maybe no to all of them, or none of them will work, or that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or you want to tell them early in the planning that this is what because if they're putting out proposals right now
No, they're not
and they're
about
fishing,
proposals, they're floating proposals.
that's what I'm saying,
There's nothing-
floating proposals. So
nothing
we'd like to
submitted
see
at
one
this time.
floated that pays tribute to the historic character of that neighborhood.
So we have a question from Steve Tixera to everyone in the chat. He says, I believe the interest of the historic district is to maintain the character of the center of town as has been known to us throughout history, or you open the floodgates to changing our town's character and most vital asset. Do we elect to be a congested urban area? I hope not. I don't have a comment. I'm just saying, Steve, I made this mistake when I joined the wrong committee. The Historic District Commission might be the one that you're thinking of. The Grafton Historical Commission is for all of town, and the Historic District Commission is just for the common area.
I think he's just referring to the specific, the common being the historic district.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know,
I just want to make it clear that there's two committees in town. You might want to visit both. Does that cover what you're looking for, Steve?
Any other comments?
Kim, you said you posted it as a PDF.
Yeah. it's in
Where?
there.
In the chat,
The same
Okay.
place, the same place my picture is. It's right
For
next to it.
whatever reason, my chat's not allowing me to see that.
I was thinking, Rob, the reason why I did that was because it was a JPEG. I thought maybe if I made it a PDF, it would just pop up for everybody. I don't know if somebody has an older version or something, maybe they haven't done updates.
Yeah, they all look the same to me. They all, yours works, mine works. They all seem to work.
Neither one of them worked for me.
Neither one of them work for me either. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't know how to work the ones that we've got.
Anybody else? Nobody has their hand
Any
up.
other comments on this?
Yeah, and so, since Steve Texera had a chat, Steve, could you comment also on what you'd like to see? Turn it into a positive. What would you like to see? We can include that in the feedback as opposed to what you don't want to see.
Can he be made a participant or whatever the thing is so he can talk? You can do that.
Hi, am I able to join you now?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, Steve's
Hi.
talking.
Thank you, and
I'm not sure why you were muted, but
that's okay. I might have done that on my own. I'm not unlike you, Dave.
scary, huh?
So to the point that I would be asked, what might I like there? So my interest would be that the experience of driving up 140 would not be overwhelmed by a building or a number of buildings that detract from the center of town. I also think that there's a negligence on not appreciating the value of open land in the center of a community. But to that point, what we end up with, I would only hope would be appropriate to the neighborhood and to the center of town. I have not chosen an option on this whole set of different plans, but something that frankly would be minimized rather than maximized for that space. I did not, in my wildest dreams, think that our town-supported housing trust would be the proponent of a 40B plan. I hope that something reasonable could be put in that location. Thank you.
I raised a question with the planning department, how the affordable housing group could submit a 40B. And my personal opinion is that the only way they can do other than single family and multi-family or say duplexes or something in there is they need a zoning change or they need to do a 40B. And given that town meeting warrant article asked for a transfer of that parcel to be used for senior housing, 40B, I believe, will open it up to anybody. As long as they have 25% affordable. So at this point, I haven't seen a proposal that's been submitted as a formal proposal. I believe they took the 40B off because of the comments that came up earlier on, but everything they're showing right now doesn't meet the current zoning.
Thank you.
Anything else?
More discussion? Dave, do you want to try one more time to let others share the screen, or you don't want to endanger yourself?
Give him a
It took
break.
me 10 minutes to get back to the screen.
Okay. All these- No, Steve Texera, can you see the pictures put in the chat?
I cannot.
Oh, okay, we're gonna have to figure this out. This
Maybe
Grafton
we
Board of
could-
Health account has different rules.
No, I cannot.
Okay,
I'm on an iPad, so that might make a difference.
I just sent it to your email. I sent it to Dave, Don, John, Rob. I didn't send it to you because
thank you so much.
it would be kind of a moot point.
Well,
I didn't send it to Bruce though. I don't know if he wants it.
yeah, and then Jakubiaks, are you online? Did you have anything from the Jakubiaks? Want to provide input?
Mark says, and I don't know if is Mark on, Fobert? There's an email saying, could someone resend me the Zoom meeting invite?
I can do that.
I'm just noticing that. If you could send that to Mark.
Okay.
I was trying to cut and paste it, but it wouldn't let me. So I could send it to you.
Get it. Dee-dum. It's also on the town website, as other people have found.
What, the picture?
No, the Zoom invite.
The link.
Mark. Okay. And that's, you sent it to his Yahoo account? Is that the only account he has?
Woo!
Um,
Okay, I sent it to Mark's Yahoo email. That's the only one I have.
If there's nothing else, we can move on to the next one.
Okay, I just want to make sure if Chet Jakubi had some input, that we give him a technical chance to unmute. He had something to say. Seeing as the rest of us have had some difficulties tonight.
I think that would be wonderful if the building, that's a 3-story building, you could put wings on it.
The building was terrible.
Well, great, it's gone.
but
I'm just saying it could look like it, Dave.
I think it'd have to be a pretty big version of it, John. I don't remember, what, 12 classrooms in it?
Yeah, if
And if-
that,
And if you were gonna make apartments out of it, I think it would probably be equivalent to like 12 apartments in the whole thing. So I think the size is limiting.
But it's also, and I need to find out more, what's the goal for the number of people that they want on this property? I think there are a lot of factors, because that was part of why Super Park failed, why the fire department failed. It's not a great site because of traffic and curves and line of sight, and it's a dangerous spot for people to get in and out of, and the slope. If it's for seniors,
that's got
that's going to
nothing to
create
do with-
issues.
It's got nothing to do with us, John.
No, but I'm just saying that's going to dictate a lot of what they can put on there, and I'm just saying I'd like to see it look like that picture that Kim sent. An
Well,
expanded
I
version.
think that's where our comments come when they have a proposal that's coming up. I think we would probably comment on it then.
well, yeah, I mean. if
Well,
it-
the
if
horse is
it's
out of the
nothing
barn.
comment
They're
on.
going to do what they've already proposed. They're not going to redesign it because we want it to look like something else at that point.
Okay.
Now,
So John, did you want to make a motion that the historical commission have a recommendation for the external character of the structures or something like that, or the size?
yes, I move that the historical commission recommend to the Affordable Housing Trust that the structure built make reference to the former Grafton High School located at 25 Worcester Street, using similar building materials and design features, architectural design features. Similar massing.
Massing, building materials. And what was the third thing? You had building materials, something, and then you said massing?
Design, perhaps, architectural design, building materials.
Okay, and massing. Oh, features, I think you said architectural features, did you say?
Architectural features, sure.
Okay. Okay, and so that's one aspect of it. The other one is the number of units, which would be
Right,
probably
right, but
a different
at least
statement.
this, it could be that this is the center building and they have 2 more pods that are similar red brick, or, with the high pitched roof and the Palladian window in the front, or, that they'll just take design elements and try to create or recreate the feel of that, and the character and feel, historic character of that neighborhood.
I believe the school predated the neighborhood.
The current neighborhood.
No.
Okay,
Motion.
I don't think they're gonna get real hung up on a lot of that, Dave. I think that we're trying to make a point of that we're hearing from neighbors that they want whatever that is done is to be sensitive to this neighborhood.
Okay, so John,
I
let me,
understand what you're saying, John. My issue is more, how do you propose to build what you're proposing under the current bylaws?
Cause that's not our problem. That's,
Well, neither
we're
is the
saying,
design.
then why do we exist if we can't?
let's not get existential yet.
Opine.
Let me try, as the clerk, I'd like to capture John's motion, the way he intends to move it. And then we can at least capture the motion and then discuss the motion would be the normal way, right?
I'm waiting to get shot down. Let's,
Yeah,
line me
well,
up.
but we have to get shot down properly.
Okay. And then you can, add a preface. We understand that you're currently in the planning stages, developing for either a senior or affordable housing on, at
John,
this
I'm gonna
25
suggest you
project.
put together a letter for us to approve.
Okay, well, we need to deal with my motion first, as Rob said.
Fine.
You can
Well,
vote it
I'm just
down
trying to,
and then,
we have to write it down and have a motion before we can deal with it.
okay.
Okay, so John, did I capture your motion? Because it was a long one. Grafton Historical Commission to recommend to Affordable Housing Trust for structures in the planning phase for 25 Worcester Street to have that any structure to be built recreate the character and feel of the period by having the structure built make reference to the former high school using similar massing, building materials, and architectural design features.
Excellent.
Okay, so that's that. So I've captured John's motion. Chair, please handle the motion the way we do
Yeah.
that.
Who wants to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and second, all in favor?
Well, don't we have to have the discussion of it?
We just did.
Well, but
Any discussion?
we had a discussion before we wrote down what it was. Now that it's
Any-
written
Any
down,
discussion? Okay, motion's made in this second. There was no discussion. All in favor?
no, wait, should we do a roll call?
Have to. Stevens, aye.
Bagnes, aye.
Clark, no.
Aberg, no,
Carrie and no.
and Bruce is out and Mark's out.
Oh,
So it's-
did you send him an email, Mark?
Well,
Yes,
I did. I sent it to Mark, right?
But just now, okay, no, because that's.
No,
like,
no,
I
a while
already
ago.
forgot.
No, I sent it, when you asked me to.
Okay, no, because I'm like, I already forgot, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he may be not, he figured too bad,
Okay.
or too late.
So right now, Dave, did you hear 2 aye and 3 nay?
They voted no on that.
That's correct, yeah. So it was voted down.
Okay.
I personally don't think we should be submitting comments on it until there's something formally proposed. That's just my personal feeling.
To me, that's like at town meeting, people wanting to change things that people have spent a year working on. And at town meeting, at the last minute, they're saying, but this and that and so forth. This is the time to make a comment. And it's a comment only. It's not a mandate. It's not a requirement. It's just a request. It's saying, this is what we feel. We've heard from neighbors. We personally agree that the character of the neighborhood should be preserved. The historic character of the neighborhood should be preserved.
Would you like to change it, the motion to say, a new motion that would say to comment? Grafton Historical Commission, comment to Affordable Housing Trust instead of recommend? Is
No,
that- No, okay,
I mean, I don't think it's gonna change anybody's mind.
No,
okay.
so can we
I just
move
wanted to
on?
try to make sure I understood whatever people were against.
You want to-
I don't think I do.
Email saying you can come back.
Okay. So Dave, you're saying motion defeated?
Motion defeated, yeah.
Okay. 50 feet.
And I think the next issue is the
Weights and
Do
measures.
way to.
You need
measure-
to, you need to text Bruce to let him know to come back.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought I just
He was-
asked to do that.
I was asked, right? No,
Yeah,
doing it. All done. Okay, I'd like to, if anybody hears something, John, that it's bubbling and we want to have more discussion and get it back on the agenda, let's stay active on this one because there's a lot of interest in it and we should be listening to what people are saying and discussing it. Okay,
Bruce, welcome back.
Hey, guys.
We're now going to weights and measure. That is the weights and measure.
Oh, well, before we do that, I don't know if you said it, you said to text you, but I think you need to know what happened while you were gone. Is I made a motion to recommend to the Affordable Housing Trust that any buildings be designed with similar massing, architectural style, detail, and materials, and it was defeated 3-2.
Thank you. For what it's worth, I swapped emails with Mark. He cannot get in. He's tried various ways and was not successful.
oh, Dave, is he waiting in the lobby and you didn't, did you talk to
didn't
Mark?
see him. Where is,
He's not in the lobby?
there's nobody in the lobby and
Yeah, because prior meetings, we never had this lobby business that Zoom has, but this meeting has a lobby. I was stuck in it for about 4 minutes.
yeah, I don't know. That's why I like to do meetings in person because you don't have to put up with all this.
Do we,
I'm
Are we still
vaccinated.
are we still required to have remote meetings? Is everybody vaccinated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the CDC today said you don't even have to wear a mask anymore. So,
Yeah, except
I don't
in
know why-
conferences.
Yeah, you gotta wait to see what the governor says.
well, the
Because
governor says you
governor
still
has
have to,
mandate right
but
now.
we can wear a mask in person. You know, I agree with you. These Zoom meetings are less than desirable.
But we still can't do it yet, John. Not until the
Did-
governor decrees it.
Yeah, but let's keep an eye out for when that
Yeah.
happens and we'll.
It'll
set it up
happen
in
soon.
person.
but-
Okay,
Weights and measures?
Weights and measures.
Yeah.
I guess it was a dual purpose posting. Is the library going to accept it? And if they are, where do we go from here?
Yeah, there's a space for it. This is one of the things that we made this decision and it was agreed upon that the building was designed for it. We've actually I think there's a warrant article because we don't know when this is actually going to get moved. And so that the moving cost would still be paid for by the CPC grant. We're doing a sunset extension so that if this doesn't happen until July because of uncertainty of when the building is supposed to be, I want to say July the 12th is the
the move.
ready date. And
I thought it was June.
well, I'm not speaking very well. I don't think the movers for the books are going to happen until July the 12th.
Oh, okay.
They were delayed. The building is supposed to be ready in June. That's correct.
Oh,
but-
okay, the
Okay.
empty building
But-
dates in June and the full building dates in July.
John, just
So-
for my own information, are they going to put solar panels on that roof or is it something else?
It's all plumbed, so to speak, wired, whatever. But that's not part of this current plan unless somebody donates money or there's a grant that would pay for it. But the roof, the roof is ready to accept solar panels, but they're not part of this project.
Right, but is the roof completed? Because there's one portion that doesn't look the same as the other.
So how does this reflect in the
Most
weights
of the
and
roof
measures
is.
cabinet? How does this
What?
work with the weights and measures cabinet?
Well, if
What on the
there
roof?
were solar panels and National Grid had to tie them in, it would be months before they would be able to do it.
Okay, so it's a question about the date then.
Well,
Well, that wouldn't affect when the
keep track of
library
it somehow.
opens, whether there's solar panels or not.
Right, but I guess my question
Yeah,
was
that's
if they were waiting to put solar panels up there now, it would probably delay it. But if they're not scheduled under this scenario, then it's. To me, it looks like the building, the portion on
I
the
believe
left.
you.
the roof didn't look-
I don't,
that
so I
was-
think I've only really noticed the ones at the top, from the counter up.
I think Steve
Steve
needs to
Dexter,
be,
your mic is open.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So. But if that's complete, then I'm just curious. To me, it didn't look like it. The shingles on that portion aren't the same as the rest of it.
it's been designed to accept solar panels. If solar panels are to happen at some time in the future,
Okay.
they're not part of the plan.
Tell me more about the weights and measures cabinet.
Me?
Anybody? You know the most about the library, so I was hoping you had information on,
I
yeah, they're
can
gonna let us
ask,
put it in.
I can ask Andy DeShane when the first available time is. I'll email him as we speak to ask him what's the first available time that's appropriate to move that in. Because I think, because the painting, all the different thing, carpeting, all those things need to be done in that area. And they're getting very, very close to most things being finished. It's just a lot of last minute.
Yeah.
This,
No,
that, and the other.
So, just to discuss this a little bit, I was thinking we probably want the, delicate historic weights and measures cabinet to almost go in after the books go in, is my thinking. Because I wouldn't want any, movers to come in and bashing into things, because big, heavy stuff, it, can fall over and have
Rob,
accidents.
those are professional movies, and you think that.
Yeah, I've hired professional movers before, and I know big, heavy things have accidents, so.
Oh,
But
you're being
also, I mean,
sarcastic.
that's a good concern, but there's a lot of space. It's not a real tight area where that's going to be. That's kind of a corridor.
But it's still, it's irreplaceable, so I just wanted to make sure we had
Yeah.
our belt and
Yeah,
suspenders.
I don't have a problem with holding off, and that's exactly, the money is available to us if you choose to wait until after July the 12th to do it. That's certainly,
Do we need to
There's no
do we
rush,
need
I
to
don't
make a
think-
request for that?
I already requested that the article be extended,
that's done. We've already voted on that.
so.
So it's just a matter of,
Put it on the agenda item, because I think the last time we talked, John, you were gonna talk to the committee about, there was some concern about whether or not they wanted to have the cabinet in there. And
well, I know that's not Beth's preference, but that's was the agreement. So
Yeah, okay. So the agreement stands, nobody's trying to renegotiate on that, as far as you know?
as far as I know, we have a subcommittee meeting again next week until,
Well, I'd
I'll
let
ask
sleeping
us-
dogs, I wouldn't ask the question again.
yeah,
just move it in.
just say, we're here.
Well, we have the agreement, there's no other information. Moving,
I-
this- okay.
We'll have
So-
to,
so, John, I have a note that says John Stevens will ask Andy DeShane what the first appropriate date will be to move it in after books and other heavy moving is completed.
So that's the preference, is to wait until the library collection has been moved in, the furniture has been moved in, that this is one of the last things to be moved. Is that correct? Is that what I'm
Yeah.
hearing? Okay.
And we'll have to disassemble it before it's moved.
But now we know how to do that.
Well, David does.
Yeah, it's not taking it apart, it's putting it back together, that's the problem.
Yeah, well, let me see. I know how to hold the flashlight and you know how to hold the screws.
I know how to take pictures of it.
Yeah.
Anything else on the cabinets? Okay, did I have anything else on the agenda, Rob?
Abundance.
Correspondence, other business, public input. We have more chance for public input. Chet Jakubiak is off mute now. If you wanted to get feedback on public input, Dave, or if you're moving to that section.
No. I guess he's got a muted on his end.
Oh, he's muted now. Okay. So I guess that's a no. So I didn't see any public input then.
Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Clark, aye.